Hi, I'm Rick Dior, and I've just spent about 6 hours teaching today, and I felt like making this video because sometimes as a teacher you get a little frustrated when your students don't necessarily say what or do what you say. So this video is about loosening up. It's the most important thing that you can do as a drummer, percussionist, musician, period, is to have a nice, loose, relaxed technique so the instrument can sing. If you spend your life grabbing the stick like this and playing like you're hammering a nail, then your career is going to be pretty short or non-existent. You're probably going to hurt yourself at some point, and you're definitely not going to make progress playing the kinds of things you probably want to play. So after I posted this last video here, maybe about a month ago, about hand injuries, I was just, well, I don't have a word for it, but I was overwhelmed, let's say that, with all the emails I got about drummers who have injuries. And this is not a contact sport. We're not playing football or rugby or something here. We're playing music. So I think we have a problem when so many of you have these hand injuries. I was just talking about the hands and the wrists, but I got plenty about shoulders and tennis elbow and crazy things, neck problems. So I really believe, not all, but most of the problems are from playing very, very tight. And, if you hit a drum like this a few times, it's fine, no problem. If you do it 100,000 times over a couple months and it's tight and the impact's going up your arm, you're going to have a problem. There's just, that's just our physiology. We're not built to sit there all day and hammer things like that without resting. And I know a lot of you play live and you play loud and you play professionally and you have to play at a certain volume. My advice for you, if you have to play too loud, playing different kinds of music, you need to get yourself some microphones and amplify your drums. And then a good monitor system somehow. Or, have the band play softer or get a different gig, which is not always easy to do. But really, once you injure yourself and it becomes chronic, it's going to be there for the rest of your life. So this video is basically a little bit of a rant about playing loose and relaxed. Now, I can play really loud. I could play as loud as anybody. All right? Drums are easy to play loud. There's no difficulty there. Drums are loud. So I'm playing loud there. I'm sure when I go into the control room and I have a decibel meter in there, that's probably going to be about 105 dBs, which is pretty loud. But I'm not forcing the stick, I'm dropping the stick. I'm not doing this. So if you have divots in your drum heads and dents in your drum heads, you're playing too hard. Unless they're really thin heads. I hear from you, a lot of you who break sticks a lot. You break cymbals. I've had people who've broken the sticks I make. These are, really hard wood, and I've never broken a pair of those. I have broken a pair of my drum set sticks a couple times, but never a stick that's thicker than this and made out of that really heavy, strong wood. So if you're breaking sticks constantly, you're breaking cymbals, you're breaking drum heads, you're playing too hard, and you want to kind of stop doing that. The other thing we have is sort of the marching band drum corps thing, which is great. I did that myself. I loved it. But that technique does not transfer over to drum set, at least all styles. You might be able to play, a basic rock gig just doing this. but it's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to do this. So you'll have trouble playing fast, and as you get older, you know, I'm getting older, so you'll start feeling things. Now, I got to say, I've been playing now for almost 52 or 53 years, and I'm in good shape. I mean, I play every day for at least 8 hours, and I teach and I perform almost every day. So the only thing that gets me are these genetic things like arthritis and all that, and that runs in families. There's nothing you can do about it. But it doesn't keep me from playing. There's no chronic thing where I can't move my arms or my fingers. And a lot of that is due to the technique I was taught as a child by some great teachers, like there was a guy, Jack Winters, I studied with. There was, of course, the great Joe Morello, who I worked with. My college teachers, Fred Henger, Walter Rosenberger. All these guys had tremendous hand technique, and they played really, really relaxed. And if they ever saw me get tight or anything, they'd say it. You know, Joe couldn't see it. He would hear it. He could hear when I was tight. So these are things, if you want to really become the best possible musician that you can, you need to work on. So the first thing that you need to keep in mind whenever you hit a drum with a stick, okay, you want to let the weight of that stick do the work. All right? You don't want to use a heavy, firm, tight arm or wrist like this. I never ever teach the full stroke, which is with the wrist. I think that should be illegal because you're never going to use that, ever, to make any kind of music. You're not going to do this. Okay? Let the stick bounce. All right? Rebound is your friend. That you get lots of notes for free. I'm just dropping the sticks there. I'm not working hard at all. So it's all coming from this part of my anatomy. The wrists, gently, not a torque, but a gentle movement, and the fingers, which is huge. And of course, rebound. So wrists, fingers, rebound, all right? But I never will use an arm stroke like this. So even when I play rock or heavy music, I'll just use my wrist. So I'm playing very loud, very powerfully, but I'm not holding the stick like this, and I'm not using my arm. I'm using my wrists in that kind of motion. Now this has a lot of benefits. You can do things like push-pull. You can play very fast jazz. And you can also do grooves like this. So that's not a push-pull, that's a dropped wrist and a shaft tip motion. You can't do that if you're playing like this. All right, so the first order of business is to watch yourself in the mirror, record yourself, video yourself, and stop doing that. All right? you've got to watch yourself play. There might be things that you're doing that you don't realize. Obviously, I make these 1,000 videos here, and for years before that, I've seen myself play a lot. Not always the greatest thing, right, to watch yourself play, but that's how you learn. You have to see the motion. It should look easy when you play. It should be easy. It should feel good. For me, at this point in my life, nothing feels better than sitting down at a set of drums and playing. It's just the most natural thing. It's an extension of my body. So if you feel off balance, okay, you're having pains in your shoulders or your elbow, or you're doing something wrong. You're sitting maybe at the wrong height. You're hunched up like this. There's tension in your neck. None of that should be there. I always preach these things when I do my hand technique videos. You have to let your arms down and start at the position of relaxation. So when you play, it's always dancing on the drums. It's never into the drums. So that's the little rant I wanted to do today. I feel better now. It always feels better to talk about things that are bugging you, you know. And I love my students more than anything. But geez, you know, you can only say things so many times before you start pulling out your hair. So I'm not even sure I'm going to put this up there, but I felt like I needed to do this. Please stop playing tight. Please stop banging. Please stop breaking things, okay? And watch the great drummers, you know, with great technique. They're all there on YouTube here. They're here, you know? And by say great drummers, great, you might not like their drumming style or the music they play, but the technique, okay? Buddy Rich, great technique. Maybe not, you know, your favorite drummer. That's all good, but the technique was there. Louis Bellson, Joe Jones, Papa Joe Jones, Philly Joe Jones, Elvin Jones, all the Joneses, all right? Mel Lewis, beautiful, simple technique. Jake Hanna, I can go on forever here. Billy Higgins, you know, Louis Hayes, all right? Max Roach, you know, it never ends. Joe Morello, my teacher, the perfect technique, quiet and relaxed, never broke a sweat. Looked like he was going to sell you some insurance, you know. It was easy for those guys. They were great technically. So again, a lot of those guys are jazz drummers, but that technique can go into rock drumming. You can do the whole show and the whole thing. You know, Taylor Hawkins was a great, I loved the way he played and he looked when he played. Tons of power, but loose, man. Loose, you know, everything he hit, he did that kind of Muller technique. He was never playing like that, okay? So please, please listen to me. And before it becomes even more of an epidemic, it is now. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.